Uh-oh, the air compressor for the rear suspension on this 2018 X5 is smoked. I know it's not the rear airbags because I already replaced them. And I know the compressor's getting power. I already repaired the harness. Last week, I was replacing the rear blower motor resistor, a completely unrelated issue. And after I went in and cleared the faults, I noticed it was in transport mode for the electronic ride height control. So I took it out of transport mode and the compressor just wouldn't pump up anymore. Scanning the car with ISTA, the only fault I do have for the EHC, the electronic height control, is raise control time. That fault means that the compressor is not pumping up the rear airbags in the time that it's supposed to. I've also commanded this compressor like 15 times with ISTA, and it just will not get those rear airbags pumped up. I even commanded the compressor with ISTA and then pulled a line off of the valve block off the compressor to check to see how much pressure was coming out of the compressor. And it was so little that I could plug it with my fingertip. Now with all that information, I am confident that this air compressor has failed. So here I have a brand new R0 air compressor and a new relay from FCP Euro. Let's get this thing installed and see if we can get this X5 back on the road. First, let's start by pulling the fuse and the relay to the compressor so we don't have any power during the repair. Fuse 110, 40 amp fuse right there. And according to these instructions from R0, this should be the fuse for the rear compressor, which is located just down here, this little green one. My only concern is that it looks different. The relay should be just fine, but R0 says that you have to replace the relay with the compressor as to not void the warranty. Okay, it looks the same. We will replace that once we're done with repairs. All right, let's put this thing up in the air, get access to this compressor. Okay, let's pull this panel, get access to the compressor. There is our compressor. As you can see, here is our compressor and our bracket. Here's the valve block. So let's just start by pulling off these connections, getting the wiring harness out of here, and then we can start working on popping this connection and popping the two air lines that go to the rear airbags, black and blue. I don't want to jinx it, but it should be a relatively straightforward repair. Okay, harness is disconnected. Now let's pop these air lines. Blue goes to the front, black goes to the rear. These are the air lines that I disconnected to check for pressure coming out to the rear bags. And it's supposed to be like over 100 PSI in the system, and I could plug it with my fingertips, so this compressor's got to be smoked. Those rear airbags were leaking for a really long time, and I recommended bags and compressor at the same time because I figured this compressor was working on overtime trying to keep those bags pumped up, and you know, it just ended up failing shortly after. The dealership wanted $5,400 for compressor and rear airbags. We were able to do the rear airbags for $900. This compressor was a little bit cheaper. Same brand as the rear airbags we put in, and this compressor was only like, I think maybe it was about $700, somewhere around there, $750. Okay, black to rear. Now we pop this air line on right there. And now I think this compressor is ready to come out. 1, 2, 3. All in all, we're saving this customer like $3,000 in comparison to them getting this all replaced at the dealership. All with parts from FCP Euro. All right, that wasn't bad at all. Now the directions say do not remove the nut and the collar from the new part. And this is how the new airbags are supposed to be installed, but I didn't follow this exactly on the last airbags, but I have done this before. So OE airline, we remove that collar, we remove the nut, and then we basically just slide that new airline directly into the compressor. All we have to do is pull these protective ports out and then slip those airlines in and then pull back on them to lock them in place. We really want to make sure not to damage these airlines, put any grooves or any cuts into them. And there's a notch on these, so that's how we know how far we need to slide that airline in to get it fully seated on the new compressor. That'll be helpful. Okay, black to rear, blue to front. I don't remember if these went, yeah, they probably go above. We'll test fit that. Let's put this new compressor in. Looks good. Hardware's snugged up. Black to rear, line it up, push it in, nice. And then pull it out to lock it. And we're all the way up to that nub. That's a really nice fit. I should have done this with the airbags. Push it in, all the way to the nub, pull it back. And again, we got black to the rear, blue to the front. And we have nice clearance on this line right here. Let's plug this barbed hose back in. That's good. That hose is where it needs to be. This guy goes up into there. compressor, valve block, and our third connector. That's in, that's in, that's in. All right. Now I've done a couple videos on this air suspension. The first one was replacing the bags in the rear end. The second one was fixing the air suspension with a roll of tape and a zip tie, which is right here. What happened was this compressor moves a bunch on these rubber spring bushings on this bracket here. And this harness right here was chafing against the body, and it was causing it to short out against the body, cutting off power to the compressor. As I was going through the test plan for the compressor during that repair, I somehow put the vehicle into transport mode. So while I was doing the blower motor resistor last week, I realized it was in transport mode, and I took it out, and the compressor just didn't have enough juice to keep pumping. So third repair, now the air compressor. Now I believe we need the vehicle in the air to charge the rear bags. Trunk opens without hitting the roof, that's nice. Let's get in here and replace our relay. Relay's plugged in, clipped back into the wall. Harness is clipped back into the wall. And now our 40 amp fuse goes back into fuse location 110. Put our fuse picker back in there, cover it up, and we're done in the trunk. I was gonna command the compressor first before I put this panel back on, but I'm feeling pretty confident with this repair, so let's put this cover back on. That way we don't have to put the vehicle back up and reinstall this later. D-U-N, done. I wanna see if this compressor will charge up the rear airbags just with ignition on once I plug into ISTA. So let's put this thing all the way down on the ground. I hear the compressor. She's running, and we got bags lifting. Let's go. Yeah, buddy. Pump those things up, dude. Do your thing, little compressor. I commanded that old compressor like 15 times, guys, and those rear bags were just squishy. I could poke them with my finger, and it's not correct. It's not how it's supposed to be. But this thing is just chugging along so fast. This rear air suspension's finally going to have the clearance that it needs. Look at that difference in height already. Finally, this thing is sitting how it's supposed to be again. So much better. Let's go. Let's delete fault memory. Fault memory is deleted. We have no faults. Let's take this thing on a test drive. Now I do have some other issues I need to fix on this X5. I have a line disconnection fault for an oil pressure control valve located down here on the bottom driver's side of the engine block. I saw a rat nest down there, and I think they might have been chewing into the wires. Second thing, this front suspension is super squeaky. Turning left to right, this thing is making all types of noise, and I was hearing it coming from that lower control arm, so we're gonna have to price out some control arms on this thing too. All right, let's test drive this girl. We gotta put some fuel in it, because this thing is practically empty. Then we're gonna vacuum out the back seats, get it all nice and clean for James and Anna. Oh yeah, we got air suspension back. Let's see if we can hear that squeak turning out of here. There's the squeak. Yeah, suspension's squeaky, man. Luckily it's not front struts. I thought it was gonna be front struts. Luckily it's just some control arms. Be able to slap those puppies in and get this thing aligned. All right, let's go road test this thing and put a bow on it. We're done for now. I got other projects to get to. Well, this thing's driving great. I think we really got this rear air suspension figured out. Now, this thing's had quite a bit of issues for 72,000 miles though. James and Anna have had just consistent issues with this thing. So me personally, I'm gonna stick to the E-chassis. That is a success. We are D-U-N, done. No more air suspension headaches. Let's go. All right, it's time to call James and Anna and tell them that the X5 is ready for pickup. I'm gonna vacuum out those carpets and make it look like I was never in there for that blower motor resistor repair. Now, if y'all are new here, my name is Alec and this is Day Off DIY. I teach BMW owners how to fix their own cars, but I don't just work on BMWs. Sometimes I do some home DIY. I'm doing head gaskets on my brother's Tundra right now, and I just released a video on Toyota Highlander wheel bearings. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you wanna see more content like this. Also, I'm currently restoring that BMW E46 right there. And when I'm done with the restoration, I'm going to be choosing a lucky subscriber and giving it away to them for completely free. I'm even going to hand deliver the car to you in person if you win. But you got to be subscribed to the channel and fill out the giveaway form if you want to win it. So if you're interested in that series, and if you haven't seen it before, I will put the playlist for that series down in the description below. If you'd like to support me on this content creation journey, of course you can subscribe to the video, drop a comment with your favorite part down below, give it a thumbs up, it really helps it with the algorithm, or if you want to support me financially, you can do so through Patreon or become a member of my YouTube channel. I also have a Discord community with almost 300 people. It's incredibly supportive, and there's always a bunch of great conversation and dialogue and question asking in there. Link for that will be in the description down below as well. I hope you enjoyed or hope you learned something new. And as always, folks, I'll see you on my next day off. Cheers.